Community, welcome back to another program here with my dear friend Nicole Holmes. Welcome to this program.
Thank you, Roger. It's such a pleasure to be here. And for the first time since I've been in Mexico, it's been over 18 years, I'm doing something in English,
That's
my
incredible.
native
That's
language.
incredible, and I really thank you for being here. And I think that is going to be very useful because there's a huge community that speak English and they want to know about you in your natural tongue, mother tongue language. And you are a true Girl Scout. How come you do all those things since you were a kid? Tell me something about
Well,
it.
I'm very eager. I love to learn, and I have so many interests. Like I just love learning. I love learning new sports. I love learning new things about medicine, things about planes, motorbikes, absolutely everything. I just love learning. I just can't get enough information.
And to give a little context, well, Nicole, right now, because he has done and he's still doing a lot of things, but right now is a great project that is about taking pictures in
In the medical field.
Yes.
Yes.
In emergency rooms, in with a lot of doctors, births, surgeries. This is great. How came up with this idea?
Well, I have this fascination for medicine, and I used to work as a veterinary technician in Canada. So that's where it all started. And then here in Mexico, I started learning photography, and I had a good friend that was a surgeon, and I asked him, "Hey, Najib, can I watch you in the OR?" And he's like, "Yeah, okay. Can I bring a camera?" He said, "Okay, yeah." And that's how it all started. Obviously, we have to get all the permissions and whatnot, but there was no problem. So that's how I started originally. And then one day I showed up at my school where I was learning photography, and I put up all these photos on a screen, bloody photos. They were doing a knee, putting in a new knee, right?
Okay.
Prótesis de rodilla.
Yes.
And so it's pretty scary when you see that surgery. And so I put them all up, and everybody's like, "Nicole, take those down. No, no, no." And then so I thought, okay, well, I see this as beauty. This is art. How can I show it to the rest of the world as art? And so I decided to go back the following week to the school and show the photos in a different way. And I showed them in black and white. I use a technique in the OR. I expose for that really, really strong light. Yeah. And so it gives me this really, really unique effect. And I get these great photos. They're just so interesting.
Yeah, they are very interesting and truly art. I mean,
yes.
If you don't know at first glance, it's like, what is this, right? You have
exactly.
You have to look for it because it seems like a flower, like it's very symmetric. It's great.
Yes. I'm just so in love with what surgeons do in the OR, and I'm in love with my work. I just love it. I'm just so fortunate.
And you can tell because when you print this love in your art, I think that you definitely can see it. So tell us about how come you are an ambassador for Nikon?
How come? Well, originally, I kind of turned down the offer because I didn't think I was the right person for the job.
Really?
Yes. And 2015 is when I started as a Nikon ambassador here in Mexico. There was originally 3 of us. Gabrielle Rose, another guy named, David Lea.
And also
He's
you're
British.
the first woman, right?
Yes, the first woman.
That's great.
Exactly.
So congratulations.
Thank you. And so there was 3 of us, of the originals, and Nikon looked for me. I didn't look for them. I had started doing things with Nikon, helping them out with certain things and whatnot. But I was still in the world of photography, still fairly new. I was just a baby in photography, but I was doing something really unique and different, something outside of the box. Yeah. Doing photos of surgery, doing nude photos of couples. That was my first job.
Oh, wow.
Where they actually paid me money was doing a photo of a couple with beautiful bodies and really artistic photos, but they were nude.
And this was in Mexico too?
This was in Mexico.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, my career as a photographer is only in Mexico.
All right.
So.
And then after you are also ambassador for BenQ?
Oh, yes, that has now finished because
Okay.
BenQ supposedly is not going to be making monitors, professional monitors for photographers. They're switching, I think, just to video.
Ah, wow.
So, but that's okay. That was great. I had 3 or 4 years. I started doing stuff with BenQ in 2017. So one door closes and another door will open.
Yeah, of course.
So-
And I think that you have a great attitude. We have the opportunity to know each other in
Yes.
very
yeah.
unique circumstance.
Very unique
Right?
circumstance. It was just, I told the story about your parents, you know,
Yes.
how we met. And, both of them were transplant patients. You know, one had a kidney transplant, the other had a liver transplant.
Yes.
What are the chances of, them showing up as the people that I'm going to be photographing, and then you showed up, and it was just amazing.
Yeah,
It's
I
just-
think that is a miracle,
yes,
a true miracle.
yes.
I am thank you God all the time about it. And well, this is a great coincidence.
Yes,
And
it
tell
is.
us about how is to be here in Mexico as a single Canadian, beautiful girl, and working with Mexicans. What is
Wow.
your experience?
My-
Because
Let's start off with I love Mexico. I
Oh,
love
thank you.
I
Yes.
love the culture.
the food, right?
The food, yes, yes, except for the bugs that you guys eat. No, thank you. No.
Chapulines, no.
Yeah, there's no way those worms are going to get into my mouth. No way.
Okay.
And yeah, the grasshoppers or crickets, whatever they are. No, thank you. There's, I prefer to eat beef over that. Thank you very much. And but anyways, my overall experience. Well, it's been 18 years.
Yeah, it's
The time that I've been here says everything. The Mexico, as a photographer, there's snow, there's mountains, there's the Caribbean, there's the other ocean on the other side, there's
Volcanoes.
volcanoes, yeah, exactly, deserts. Mexico has absolutely everything. It is a photographer's paradise. It's
wow.
just absolutely amazing. So that's the good part about Mexico. The other part that is I'm a little bit afraid now that I've
Yeah.
been here for so long. I know so much about the country. So sometimes I'm a little bit worried when I go with expensive equipment to places. And that part, the insecurity, is a little bit of an issue. But
yeah.
I always find a way to make things work. And if it's something with the government, then we always have people
Yeah,
from the government there.
security.
Exactly, yeah. So there's always a way to work around things. And other things in Mexico, the people in general are absolutely wonderful, but it's so hard as a Canadian. When I say, or I invite you to my place
Yeah.
to visit, that's it. I don't have to keep asking you 20 times. I asked you once and I'm being sincere. Would you like to come over and have dinner? Yes. Okay. You come in and you have dinner. Here in Mexico, oh, let's have dinner. But it never happens.
Okay.
It never, that's my experience. Or al ratito. Okay, when is al ratito? Or en 8 días. First of all, there's only 7 days in a week. Why do you say 8 in 1 week is
yeah,
8
they say
days?
de hoy en ocho.
Exactly, hoy en
We say
ocho.
that.
Why? There's only 7 days in a week.
Yeah.
So, things like that, when it's just really hard. When somebody says an hour, you said at 11 o'clock today? Okay, I'm here before 11.
Yeah.
I'm very, very punctual.
Yeah, you're
and-
sharp.
Yes.
Actually, you got before here than I.
Yes, I arrived before you,
Yeah.
but that's okay. I prefer things like that than
Yeah.
showing up late. For me, I'm embarrassed. If I'm late for something, I am extremely embarrassed.
What
and,
about the punctuality of Mexicans?
that's really difficult. I understand. Sometimes people take advantage of it, I think.
Yeah.
They say, oh, there was a car accident, which was a lie. And they just say that because they were just late themselves.
Yes.
Just be clean, just be honest and transparent with people. And, you can feel it when people are not telling you the 100% truth.
Yeah.
Right? And so that's a little bit difficult for me because I'm very transparent. I'm like, okay, if I can go, I go. If I can't go, I just say, I'm sorry, I can't go. I'm sorry, I'm not going to make it. I won't. I don't say, see. And I mean, no. And
Yeah.
that's the only difficult thing. It's cultural, but it's,
Yeah, it's cultural. And sometimes we don't see it so clear like you guys.
yeah, it's like, okay, what's so hard about I'm going to meet you tomorrow at 10. What's so hard about that? You plan, you can check. Nowadays, we have Waze, other applications where we can check the traffic so we can prepare in advance.
Yeah.
And so there's really no reason unless it's a big accident that happens and you're on the way to go
there's
somewhere.
always
Yeah.
these kind of things, but
Yeah.
normally not.
Yeah.
And what do you think about we Mexicans we cannot say no too often, right? We always say yes.
I know. It's just
Do you
say
think that?
no. Yeah, I totally agree. Absolutely. Yeah, you just learn to say no. You know,
Yeah,
you don't have to make. I think it's partially you're afraid to disappoint people,
yeah, I think
and
so.
you know, I'm very very similar, but at least I can say no.
Yeah.
But it's really hard. I
For us,
completely
it's very
understand.
hard. And what could you tell us about the business model that you have in Mexico? Is it easy or is it difficult to have clients?
Um,
I mean, you speak perfectly Spanish.
mhm.
That's a good thing for you, right?
Yes, yes.
And but what do you think about doing business with Mexicans?
In general, it's great.
Okay.
But you know, as a foreigner, you do have to learn how things are done in Mexico.
Yeah.
You have to learn how to do business in Mexico. I can't go with my mentality or my Canadian mentality
Yeah.
into Mexico and try to change things to my
Way.
way, which is the Canadian way. I can't do that. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
So most of us foreigners try to do that. We arrive in the country, we try to say, no, this is what works, this is how we do things, and this, and that. No, it doesn't work like that. You have to adapt to the culture.
Yeah.
And sure, you can bring some of the things from your own culture, the way you do business, and mix it with the way we do business in Mexico.
Yeah.
And that's my experience is, you know, I tried to do things my way at first. It didn't work.
Of course.
And so now I adapt to the Mexican way, and which is really important, is building relationships.
Yeah, I think that everything is about connection, right?
It's connections. Yeah, Mexico works if you know somebody, not to say that they're going to give you the job, but if you know somebody and you build that relationship with your customer, you build confidence, trust, and then they end up hiring you. And that's what happens to me.
Yeah, and normally the client again hires you, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Oh,
And
yes,
then
definitely.
recommends you, and well, I think that is great because sometimes we cannot see us very well, like you.
Yeah.
This is a good thing to know. Well, tell us about your fascination about extreme sports.
Well, well,
Where is coming from then?
that started when I was young because I was always into sports. I always loved, you know, I was like
Did you play volleyball or basketball?
Oh, yeah,
or?
I played all the normal sports.
Okay,
Yeah,
the normal, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I played
That's boring. That's
soccer or football. You guys say soccer.
Soccer, you?
Baseball,
You
yes,
play
of
soccer?
course, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
right.
I even played on our Canadian team here in Mexico. We have within the embassies, we have teams, football teams.
Okay.
And I haven't played recently because I have some injuries, but we have a team. I play on the Canadian team.
Okay.
And we play against different embassies. It's great
Okay.
fun. But no, I've done normal sports all my life, but I do have a resume of over 20 sports that I can do. Can you do that? Yes, I can do that. I may not be the best, but if they say, can you stand up and go kite surfing? Yes, of course.
Oh, yes?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
I've tried. Now
That's a good one.
I used to do windsurf better than kite surf.
Okay.
But now they have wing foil, which is like the new generation of windsurf. It's amazing, you know. But I'm really basic, but I can stand up on the board and I can go, you know. So that's the most important thing. And as for water sports, I can do almost everything. I can dive. I can do, if you give me 2 skis, 1 ski, or a board, I'm going to go. I'm going to I can do it.
Oh, yes.
But
then you also got pictures from the ocean, right? And from...
Yeah, no, not so much. I've done more because I'm a photographer.
Yeah.
And I do video sometimes, but I don't do it so much in the ocean. I do, but I've done it more for television.
Okay.
For example, the show El Gran Chapuzón, that was done by Televisa. I did underwater work for that show and other things in Mexico.
Okay.
But as far as extreme sports, paragliding, it was great.
Paragliding.
It was a great distraction for when I was getting a divorce. So it was wonderful. It was a way to
cathartic way to...
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So I learned how to fly, but mostly because I wanted to take photos. I remember when my first couple of flights,
right.
I didn't tell the instructor, but I had a camera hidden in my big jacket and he didn't see it. And then I launch and I'm in the air and he can see me moving. He's like, Nicole, what are you doing? And I never told him, keep your hands on los mandos, no?
Because you
were... Yeah, exactly. I was trying to get my camera out. But basically, I learned how to fly because I wanted to take photos from the air.
Okay.
And then a little bit later, I learned how to do powered paragliding.
Yeah.
which is a little easier because we fly closer to the ocean normally, and the air is much cleaner. It's much more stable, so I can take my hands off of my brakes or my commandos. Commandos, and I can, it's pretty stable, so I change a little thing. So, because there's torque from the engine, right? So I change something and I fly straight, get my camera out, and I start taking photos.
Oh my God.
It's just amazing, but
I think it's amazing and crazy too.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. But now I'm not flying as much as I used to. I've hardly flown in the last couple of years because I have injuries, and the last injury was I was skiing in France and broke a couple things and
snow.
Oh yes, yeah. You give me a board or skis and
you got it.
Bye bye. Yes.
Tell me, who inspires you?
Who inspires me? People that can do things that I can't do.
Oh, no. Nice and difficult.
Yeah, exactly. And if I, for example, I'm not the best businesswoman in the world. That's why I'm a starving artist, as we say in English, but I look at people and it's like, how do they do that? How do they sell their work? And it's just, that's what's hardest for me. As a photographer selling prints,
yeah,
I would prefer to give things away, but that doesn't pay the rent. So, I have to find a way that's a little more, that works better than what I'm doing now. Yeah. But as far as, I'm getting by and I'm happy and I have what I need. And the most important thing is I'm happy. Of course. I'm adapting to what I have. I live the life that I can afford to have. I don't try to pretend I'm somebody else with a multimillionaire. No, that's not me. I'm Nicole. I'm a photographer. I live my life. I'm good at what I do. I'm very dedicated. And I'm eager to learn new techniques and new things in general. Yeah. And I think that's what's important.
Wow, amazing. Yeah. I love this interview. And we're going to stop here because we have another segment.
Okay.
But where can we find Nicole?
You can find me normally in the OR. Or in a hospital, or up in the air, or on the wall, on a mountain, in the rocks climbing. But if you're talking about social network, you can find me on Instagram. It's Nicole F. Holmes, as in Sherlock Holmes. So Nicole F. Holmes. Mm-hmm. Then you can find me that way on Twitter or X, I guess. Yes. Twitter. Most places you can find me that way, or just by my name, Nicole Holmes.
Nicole F. Holmes.
Yeah.
And F as in...
Francine. Nicole Francine. Yes. Nicole Francine Holmes. C'est ça.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Nicole, for this first interview. And then I think that you're going to share about the newest camera of Nikon, right?
Yeah, it's the newest or the top of the line.
The top of the line camera. So we expect you here in the second segment. Thank you very much. And
thank you, Roger. And thank you to all of you.
Great.